if you look at the TV show, Richard stole all his cars, and that was genuine. He had a nice Lotus. He hates me talking about it, but he had a really nice Lotus. He had his old motorbikes. He had he had a Porsche 911, and he stole all those cars to fund buying this stuff in the prep bay.
Just having a short break from Neil with Anthony's son, who's the major part of this repair business, and you love breed fix cars for living now, and that's for real, because that's what we're talking about with Neil inside. This is an actual working garage, because the first time I actually met you, you're coming out with an oily hands.
Dirty hands.
Yeah, and your dad just told me earlier you just actually fall over in an oily floors.
Dad would say that, because that's something Dad would say about me. But no, the passion's already been there for cars, because growing up as a kid, I don't know what you were like, but growing up with my dad, I was surrounded by cars. But the funny story was, my dad told me never go in the motor trade. Stay away from it.
Is he?
He told me to stay away from the motor trade.
He never told me that inside.
He told me to stay away, go and find another job. So I went and found a job when I left school. My first day of starting that job, he turned around and went, "You don't want to do it, do you?" And I went, "No." He was putting marquees up, and
all right.
he goes, "I'll tell you what, I'll do a deal. Go to college, get your education, you can work for me." So I went to college, did my 3 years, and I worked for Dad for 24 years now.
24 years?
Or was it? No, sorry, 20 years this year. 20 years I worked for Dad.
Right, so it's a long time to working for your old man.
It's a long time to work with your dad, yeah, and not fall out every day and all that, but
how is your work relationship with him?
It's good. It's actually quite well, because that's one thing with me and Dad, we've got good banter. We'll take the mick out of each other, but also we'll help each other, which for us is a massive thing. And that's what, because it's only me and Dad at the beginning, so we had to work together. So then moving to somewhere like this, which is a lot bigger,
yes,
more people, because for me, I've never worked with anyone else, only Dad.
Right.
So now I'm working with more people, and then you find out you don't get on with everyone, but that's life. But it's turned out now we got a good team and it's all working well, so I'm happy. But yeah, cars are in the blood, and I've always wanted to work with cars, and now I get to do my hobby every day.
So I'm quite curious, you know, because you're filming with Richard Hammond, and luckily he, you know, put all this effort into to make this happening, you know, the Smallest Cog. Out of curiosity, do you work in now on the cars you may be never able to work on your garage?
Before?
Yes.
Yeah. The thing about this is, it's because you're linked with Richard Hammond, we get a lot of inquiries every day about cars to work on. So we get to work on special cars, like we worked on a Delahaye. I've worked on so many cars that I would never get my hands on. I've literally just had an Aston Martin dropped off for me to work on, service, and our little garage didn't really open those doors, but now it does. And that's the thing, you grow up, it's like when you grow up, you always have a poster of a car on your wall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was yours?
A DB9.
You're that much younger than me, come on. I had the Countach and the Diablo, man.
No, I didn't have a Countach. No, Countach a bit before me, but it's like a Countach. There's talks of me working on one of them coming up, which is a dream. You only ever see them when you go to a car show,
yeah, or
on YouTube or whatever. That's the only place you ever see them. So actually to get your bum in one and actually work on it and see how it works. But they always say though, what's the biggest thing? Never meet your hero.
Yeah, that's right.
So
what was your hero? What was your hero? It's the DB9 is your hero.
No, I worked on a car which was my hero, which was a Lancia Delta Integrale.
Oh, nice.
Growing up, watching the Group B rally days, and I met that and worked on it and fell out with love.
Oh yeah? Mm. You actually drove it?
Yeah.
Didn't like it? It was a left-hand drive, because they only made it in left-hand drive.
They're all left-hand drive, yeah. And I worked on that, and it broke my dream.
Really?
Of having one, and like I wouldn't have one now.
You know, British cars, I'm sorry to anybody, but they're super unreliable.
Very.
But one thing about when you get into the British car, it's got a soul. A different soul than every car have a soul, but they have something really special about them.
They do.
I love.
And that's what we got with our race car in our show on Discovery. Yeah. She's got a name, Doris, because it was Doris Day. It would never last more than a day. So we're trying to get rid of that stigma with it. But the thing with the MG was I hated them, because we used to weld them up all the time, constantly. But then every time I get into Doris now and race it, I love every second of it. It handles, it's been tuned, so it's 181 horsepower now.
Is it?
Yeah.
Wow.
So it runs totally on synthetic fuel, so it's not on fossil fuel.
Yeah.
And it's amazing. You go out on the track and I love every second of that, and that's what I love about it.
Great car to drive because you got all the feedback. You feel,
It's very analog.
Yeah.
There's no computers helping you, there's nothing. It's
Which is great, really,
it's literally
because
you and your bum driving the car, and that's what we love about it. That's another thing that's amazing for me is I can remember being young, watching the very last episode of Top Gear, which had the MGB on,
yes,
and that car is the car that I race today.
that's the exact
That's
car.
the car, exact car.
No way.
Yeah. So the last car on Top Gear I ever watched, I get to race it now because Richard bought it.
Let me introduce this video sponsor, Carly. Carly is a pocket-sized device, just plugs into your OBD port and you can scan for all the fault codes. Then you need to start the app and just go run Diagnostic. So the Diagnostic is done and all you have to do is show results, go to the Smart Mechanic and you see all the fault codes. So this one is say EGR valve position signal problem. So it's really good because it gives you a really good description what you need to do. And to be fair, you can save hundreds or sometimes thousands of pounds of repair costs. If you want some nice discount, use my discount code or you can click on my link in the description. Thank you so much, Carly, to supporting my video. Let's go back to Anthony. I always say, and I think the viewers are gonna comment on this one, it's probably the same for everybody. A car, if you're earning £10,000 a year,
Yep.
and you're buying a car for £5,000 or £10,000, it's the most expensive car you ever bought.
Yeah.
If you're buying a car, you're earning £1 million, but you're only buying a £100,000 car. £100,000. I don't have a £100,000
No,
car.
neither do I.
But what I'm saying is, the person buying the 10 grand car is put everything in there because it's so much of their passion to get that one vehicle, because that's for them everything, and they save it up and they can buy that car.
And they're always the ones that park a million miles away from anybody in the car park because they love the car. Yeah, they park at the other end of the car park just because it's their pride and joy. Where you get some people with loads of money that buy the 100 grand Porsche, they park it anyway, they don't care. Do you know what I mean?
I'm that person, you know, when you see these huge supermarket car parks, you know the furthest point?
It's you.
Yeah, that's me. If you see an old car in there, that's me.
Yeah, in the corner because you don't want to get it damaged.
No, and you always got that one person parked right next to you.
Do you ever notice when you come back there's always someone next to you now?
Yeah.
Every time.
Every time. It's like, why is it that whole bloody car park is there?
Yeah.
But somebody just come in there and park
That's
it.
the thing.
Piss off.
Question for you. Is there a certain country that makes cars that you wouldn't buy? For me, I wouldn't buy a French car. Is there anything that you wouldn't buy? Do you have a country and you go, oh, I wouldn't have one of them? That's nothing against the French, mind. That's nothing against French.
No. I'm racing a French car. That's why it's quite funny. I'm racing a Renault 5. I got a Renault 5 rally car.
You got Renault 5?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I can't say I don't like French cars.
I like the look of French cars. I think their styling's pretty good. Not maybe on the modern stuff, but old stuff.
For modern cars, I wouldn't buy French.
No.
I don't like it. You know, I'm just like French cars, 205s, lovely shape, 405s, even 406 was okay.
406 was okay. My mum had one.
405, still a lovely car. I can't think any country I wouldn't buy a car from because I just have fascination for a motor vehicle. So I have a Russian car, I have a Polish car.
Oh wow.
A Polish Fiat 126, which is like
126,
yeah. I grew up in the back seat of one of them, so
yeah, you had to have one.
and it's if you buy one, it's pretty, but
yeah,
when you drive in it, especially with modern SUVs, you're driving that small car, you know.
You're tiny. They're low, aren't they?
Oh yeah,
we just did a Fiat Topolino, and
right.
Oh my god, I've never been something so small in my life. I'd be scared to take it on the road with modern cars because I'm thinking.
Yes.
Oof.
I can't think any car I wouldn't buy. I just buy it.
I did have a Mark II Escort.
Did you?
600 Sport. Bought it. Put new bulkhead in it, new inner wings, bonnet, floor pans. Did everything to it, and then met my current missus and had to buy a house, so that had to go. So I never got to finish it, which was gutting. That probably is my story. That
So it's always something underlining, isn't it? Once you talk about it, there's always something coming to the surface, and you say like, "Oh yeah, here we go."
My Mark II Escort. I wish I could have finished that car. I would have loved to have had that, and just only live a mile down the road. I could thrash it to work and back. It wouldn't cost £1 million. But yeah, that's probably my biggest regret, is getting rid of that.
On that note, jump back to your dad and continue with his
Get back
gibbering.
to him. He'll keep you talking.
Yes. Cheers, mate.
No,
Thank
cheers.
you.
Thank you.
Well, Boris,
Thank you very much.
no, it's very nice to meet you.
Pleasure
and
to meet you as well, and I'm so
I-
grateful that you've done that for me, because this garage tour, I think, has been one of the best garage tours, because
Yeah,
just a fascination, you know, you and the cars and the machine.
yeah.
I think it's the most amazing story, and I bet the viewers loving this
Oh
as well.
no,
Because
well, thank you very much. I hope I haven't bored you too much, but basically, yeah, to prove what we were saying originally, it is. This is a garage. We've got to earn money, we've got to pay the bills, and we've got to do the work. So it's not just a TV set, it is a genuine garage. And thankfully, touch wood, we're very busy, but you're only as good as your last job, so you've got to concentrate, make sure everything's done properly and on time. But it's nice to interact with people. It's nice to see you, nice to hear your side of the story, the cars you're interested in, because really all us car petrol heads, they call us, but we're all in the same community.
yes, we
And
are.
It's interesting to talk about different cars, different things, and I find it fascinating. The engineering, the cars, the people, everything's good. And I think the good thing now with YouTube, you can see a lot more where you would never get to see things before. People can explain things better, and you could get to see everything from the chap that's working in, like you say, on their knees in the dirt, like we've done, to the people that are working in posh garages. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. I'm really grateful
glad.
as well. Thank you.
No, it's a pleasure. It's a pleasure.
Guys, I really hope you enjoyed today's episode from the Smallest Cog, much as I did, because I met with lovely guys, Anthony and Neil. I think they're just a pure car enthusiast, and I think it's just an amazing experience. And please, if you enjoyed it, drop us a like, drop us a comment, and see you at the next time. Bye.